you're dying to please the world. You're never going to get filled. It's like trying to put water in a cup with holes in it.
Hi everyone, I'm Amira, this is my friend Ivan, this is my friend Mark, and today we're just going to be talking about, the importance of godly friendships, and, we just decided to pick up a camera, record, and have y'all get into the conversation with us. So, Mark, what does a godly friendship look like to you? What are the qualities that you look for in your godly friendships or whatever?
Good question. I feel like a godly friendship is just like a friend who is there for you. A friend who is there for you. A friend who has fruits of the Spirit, kindness, love. And a friend that could just walk this walk with you. Like, I feel like this walk with Christ is not an easy walk. But having friends that you can talk to, having friends that are also in their word and in their Bible and has a relationship with God just makes it a little bit more easier. How about you, Ivan?
So I do have some notes on my notebook that I will be reading from. So I could tag along by saying that he's right. A godly friend is more loyal and present than a friend who is just there. Like they will be there for you. They will help you escape during hard times. For they could pray for you, understand you, and support you during your faith, during your walk with the Lord. And that's how I just feel about what he just said. And a verse that really stuck out to me was Proverbs 27, verse 17. As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. Having a relationship with other people who follow the Lord and have faith in the Lord will only build your faith stronger with the Lord, because you guys are reading together. You guys are pushing each other. It's like if you're playing basketball and you have a friend, you guys are pushing each other to finish a practice. You guys are pushing each other to get better. That's how it is with godly relationships. And I feel like a godly relationship is way more important than having people who are just there around you and they're not going to be there to support you fully. Like if you have people who are just there and they just tempt you to do sinful things, they're not going to lead you anywhere in your life. So yeah, that's what I got. What about you, Amira?
Honestly, I feel like both of y'all kind of got into everything. I don't really know what to say, but basically what both of them said, godly friendship is one that's going to build you up. Godly friendship is one that's going to be built on trust, built on purpose, built on love, someone that, is going to help you. They're going to love like Jesus, They're going to see you and see you fully for who you are, They're going to have your, best interest in mind, is how you say it?
Mm-hmm.
Best interest in mind always, And if I'm going through a season in my life that I feel like I can't pray or I need prayer, I have my friends there that are going to pray with me. It says it in James 5:16 states, go there right now. It says, therefore confess your sins to each other and pray for each other. Pray for each other so that you may be healed. So it's good to have your own relationship with God, but it's so beautiful having people that are walking that walk with you,
Yeah, it truly is amazing. God didn't walk alone. God had 12 disciples with him. I feel like it's just a beautiful thing. Like, even church, everywhere we go is just community. Like, church is a community. Your family is a community. It just shows the importance of God-led friends. But a question that I have for y'all is, how do you feel somebody should go about friends that are, driving them to, sin or driving them in the wrong direction?
I feel like if you have faith in the Lord and you are following the Lord, doesn't mean that you had to cut them off. You could simply just try to help them. You're doing what you can in your power to help them follow the Lord and have faith for the Lord. So, for example, I do have friends that smoke and party and drink, but that doesn't mean that I have to cut them off. I'm going to do what I have in my power to help them go to follow the Lord. I have friends that I invite to church that have smoked and drank, and that's the first step to following the Lord. For me, I used to be in that same hole that they were in, but you should never judge nobody for that, because I was in the same hole, and look at me now. I'm following the Lord, and my walk with the Lord has been very strong because of godly friendships that I have, like these people right here. And I just feel like it is true about godly friendships. They do really push you. So yeah. What about you, Amir?
Also, something that Mark, I feel like he said it one time when we were having a Bible study. He said it how the Bible says iron sharpens iron, right? But it's you can't sharpen, I don't know how you worded it, but it's like you can't sharpen
You
each
can't
other
get-
with two different materials.
Yeah.
So it's like not even just in friendships, guys, but also talking about like relationship wise, you know, like it's there's nothing wrong with that person if their material is different. It's just you're gonna get dull. How else do you say it? You're like your sword is gonna get dull.
You're gonna get dull, and the other person is gonna get damaged.
Okay, exactly. Just what he's saying. So like that, and y'all, like I'm so serious. It's not just something that we're talking about. It's something we're saying. The Bible says like y'all need to read it for yourself. Okay, it says, like he said, iron sharpens iron, right? But it also says, I think it's this one. Okay, so Proverbs 13:20. Okay, it says, walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm. Companion of fools suffers harm. It doesn't just talk about it here. It talks about it all in the Bible, actually. But if you go right into Ephesians 5, 4-7, all of Ephesians is amazing. Go read Ephesians for yourself. It talks about your identity in Christ, walking with Him, and it talks about truth. Okay? So, it says it here. I'm going to skip, actually. I'm going to just go right into 7. It says, God's wrath comes on those who are disobedient. Therefore, do not be partners with them. Do not be partners. Like, your iron isn't going to sharpen another person if their material is different.
It truly is something. And I feel like as we walk, like temptation is already such a hard thing to overcome as it is. For our flesh is weak, but our spirit is willing. So feeding our flesh is only going to lead us into sin. And every time I think about it, it brings me to the verse Matthew 5 verse 30, and it says, and if your right hand causes you to stumble, cut it off and throw it away. It is better for you to lose one part of your body than for your whole body to go into hell. I truly feel like you could apply this to a friendship. Like me, I was struggling with the sin, and it didn't make it better that my friends were indulging in that sin. Like I would try to lean on my own strength to fight that sin, but I'll always give in. And it's like, man, it took me a moment to question myself and ask myself, why am I always? But it's probably because I'm surrounding myself by that. You're feeding your flesh to give into that temptation, to give into that sin. You're not making it no better for yourself. It's like you're fighting a team and you're playing against yourself. Like, you know, those friends do those type of things. You know, them friends encourage you to do those type of things, and you still choose to hang around those friends trying to fight that sin. We cannot lean on our own strength, and for our flesh is weak. That's why we give in. I just feel like it's very key when you're struggling with something, you surround yourself by people who can help you get over that. Like, I see like godly friendships, like, you know that quote where it says, surround yourself by people you want to be like.
Yeah.
Because they will always push you to be better.
Yeah.
Like, I when I think about it, because, you know, I run track, I think about track, you know. I never want to run against somebody who is slower than me. Because running against somebody who is slower than me will always just build my pride up and never get me faster. Because I'm always winning. I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
I'm just running against the same person who is slow. I'm not going to improve. But running against people faster than you only encourages you and only boosts you to run faster.
So that's how you view godly people.
That's how I view godly friendships. I feel like having friends who are so deep into their word, who are in their word, in their Bible, encouraging you to get in your word, or just spewing their wisdom that God has gave them into you, just strengthens your relationship and encourages you to be the same and be that light for somebody else. I feel like Paul does a good representation of this in Philippians 1 verse 14. And because of my chains, most of my brothers and sisters have become confident in the Lord and dare all more to proclaim the gospel without fear. Paul used his problem. Paul used what he was going through to strengthen the faith of others. And so many times I feel like when somebody has strong faith, we just look at that and be like, man, I could get through this. Right? I feel like so many, remember when he was talking about in church how nobody could finish a mile under 4 minutes or something like that? And then once one man did it, then it encouraged other people to do it. It's so much times like with friends, you see your friend and don't lie. You see your friend has some and you like, okay, I want that. And you see your friend beat a game, you like, okay, I could do that. So many times it's the same thing with walking with God. You see your friend blossoming and stepping into the purpose that God has for them. Just imagine what God will do to you.
I feel like what he just said at the very end, I could agree with that, because I looked up to Mark and Amira as well. Like on my walk with the Lord, I never knew anything about the Bible. I never knew anything about the Lord in general. But they inspired me to truly get into my word, read the Bible, and that's what I have been doing. So I could really speak from experience based off of what he just said at the end. So yeah.
I feel like we've been talking a lot about how godly friendships are good, you know, like how would you say this, like the positive things about godly friendship and things like that. But I feel like we should get into what worldly friendships look like, or what to look for when cutting off friends that cause you to sin. Is there anything y'all want to add, or do I just get into it?
You should get into it.
Get into it?
Yeah.
All right, so I would say if you're hanging around that person and each time y'all hang around, there's just like, you know, gossip, it's just there, it happens, you know. Either one, say for what it is, like, hey, you know, like, I've been walking with God and I'm not really trying to gossip, you know. And if they take that as like, oh, like, you know, you're trying to act all different and stuff, cut them off. Like, they don't have your best
interest.
Yeah, your best interest in mind. I think that's how you say it. But yeah, so that's one thing. Also, let's say your friend sees you and he sees that, you know, you're trying to walk with God, and he's still pushing you, hey, come with me to this party, hey, two-man this, two-man that. Like, no, like, they're not helping you, and they're gonna cause you to sin eventually, you know.
Yeah, to add on to what she was saying, I feel like I want to speak to the guys for a moment. If your friends are making you feel awkward or are singling you out because you do not do the things that they do, or because you decide to give your life to Christ, and because you decide to walk a life that please Christ, and they're singling you out and making you feel weird and making you feel like you're just not cool or not worthy of anything, that should be a clear indicator to cut them off immediately. I feel like we should never live to please the world, because pleasing the world, you're dying to please the world. You're never going to get filled. It's like trying to put water in a cup with holes in it. You're never going to get filled. It's never going to fulfill you for a long time. It's never going to hold you. It's never going to just push you anywhere. And even if it does get you anywhere, I'm telling you, you might look like you're ahead, but you're really 10 steps behind. I truly feel like if that person is making you feel bad for following God, or if they're making you feel bad for living a life to please God, cut them off. There's no explanation. Cut them off.
I feel like what Mark had just said, I could agree. And lust comes into a big play in this new generation, especially this Gen Z generation. I feel like that's all everybody talks about. And you get influenced to do these such things, smoking, drinking, having sex with others. And then there's you feel pressure to do something because you want to fit in with those people. But that's not what you should do. You should follow the Lord. You should have faith in the Lord, because whatever they're doing, it's not the right way to go about it.
I also feel like it's just the cost of the call, you know, the cost of the call. Like, you will lose friends along the way. Same way you'll make friends on the way, you know. You're going to be looked at different. You're going to be looked at weird. You know, but I feel like it's all worth it in the end, because I care more about what God thinks about me than what anyone of the world thinks of me, you know. Like, I don't care if I get judged. I don't care if, you know, people will call me, like, too much of a Christian or too of God. Like, no, because I know at the end of the day, like, the Lord has something in store for me, you know, and I'd rather chase that than to chase men, chase, like, compliments and chase things of the world, you know. Like, I don't want to live self-righteous. I want to live righteous for God. So, yeah, and like Ivan was saying, lust does play a big role in it. They talked about men, but also in women, you know, like, hanging out with your friends, it's so easy to get caught up in, like, wow, like, this guy is so fine and this guy is so fine, and like, oh, like, he's a star player, this and that. But like, no, you should not be having eyes of lust, you know. Like, you should be having eyes that are clear for Jesus.
It's truly amazing. It truly is something that is truly heartbreaking. And once you ask God to show it to you, and you begin to have and you begin to see and truly have vision of what is truly happening, it truly becomes all breaking. Like it's heartbreaking to see it happen. To add on to what Amir was saying, I want to let you know that God will never let what he took away be the best you had. Like if that friend left you, if that relationship left you, he's not gonna let what you lost be the best you had. He has more for you. He has more in store for you. The best is yet to come. There's more on the way. I feel like we truly have to just trust God, and trusting God means that, okay, I don't know what's going to happen. Okay, I don't know how this situation is going to play out. I don't know how I'm going to get through this next situation. But I trust that God has a plan for me, and plans to prosper, and plans that are beyond my understanding. And I'm going to trust that he has a plan for me and a plan for my life.
So a verse that really stuck out to me was Galatians 5, verse 16. So I say, walk by the Spirit, and you will not gratify the desires of flesh. I feel like that is true, and I can speak from experience as well. Since I started following the Lord, I haven't fell into lust. I haven't fell into doing such sinful things, because I know that if I do those things and I know what I'm doing is wrong, I'm going to just break his heart. And if I know what I'm doing is wrong and I'm still doing it, it's going to break his heart even more. So that's what I feel about following the Lord, and it will really help you in overcoming the things that you want to overcome. Lust, smoking, drinking, all of those things come in a big role into that. So yeah.
Also, another thing that I wanted to touch on while I was saying, like, to know the difference between, like, a worldly friend and, like, when to cut them off. Think about who you are with when you are tempted to sin. What friend group are you around when you are tempted to sin? What homegirl, what homeboy are you with when you are tempted to sin? That's one easy way to discern if that person should be cut or not. Because, like, no friendship and no relationship is worth losing what God has in store for you. So basically, just to summarize, all that we've talked about today is, one, it is super, super important to make sure that you have people that are going to help you grow. You know, iron sharpens iron. That's pretty much the main verse that we kind of talked on today. Walk with the wise and become wise. Knowing when to cut off certain friends, you know, when that's going to cause you to sin, when that keeps pressuring you into doing stuff.
But yeah, to add on to what she was saying, friendships are something that takes a long time, and once you build godly relationships, it truly helps. Like, it's been so many times that I've texted Ivan and Amira about the situations that I've went through, and they have guided me towards the Lord. They've guided me to help, and they've helped me and been nothing but a blessing in my life. I truly feel like godly relationships are what God calls us to have. Like, it truly is incredible what God can do with friends.
I hope y'all enjoyed this little, session. This little session that we had of just good talks. Let us know if y'all want more discussions, any topics that y'all might want us to touch on. We still struggle too, like, don't just think that us sitting in front of a camera, that this is it and we're always like gonna be perfect, or we still struggle, we still struggle with cutting off certain friends, because that's all we've known, especially if that's a friendship that you've had for a long time. But we're all just here learning together, walking together, and that is why it's so important to have friends you can do it with. But I hope y'all enjoyed, and we'll catch you on the next video.